I've spent a lifetime studying the grimoires, and this grimoire here I'm linking to is a fun, nice, positive, good grimoire that I want to remind us what would the purpose of a grimoire be? This, what would the purpose of grimoire be? What would that purpose be? And that purpose would be to provide us written history of really neat things that they were studying and looking around for. Hey, and so this particular grimoire is take a look at the. I'm looking for my lighter. Take a look at uh, this era of authorship. I think through S.L. McGregor Mathers, that was pretty easy. That was pretty easy. I've been working with this stuff for years. And during, let's say, 96, up in 96. So, to retain the James Ussher chronology back past the year 1996 is where I would say, in comparison with having worked with this particular grimoire for quite some time, explaining that distance in time is the goetic demon of that picture of cock out in front of us all. The So I'm a grimoire guy. I've studied these guys. There's sigils. There's a lot of stuff. It's all pictorial information, which is why I'm using YouTube to correct James Escher and explaining here in this. Just we get the James Escher chronology is where I'm actually at. Bible 6,000 year legend. So in 96, what we had all through that era was all sorts of little incite yourselves to get your little brain to work a little bit better. But no, they had it wrong. Little things. From the mystical standpoint of your broken churches, your ecstatics, and you're crying. You guys are crying when you're ecstatic. Baby making cults. And excited to get fat with most of your many incompetent, ugly pastors. Was, my goodness, many of you are just really mother be ugly, Aunt Jemima ugly. What are we looking for? What are we striving for in a poetic congregation? Well, I'm striving for beauty. We want to step above human evolution. We want to step into looking at each other face to face and collate at the utopian hope of, hey, look at each other in the eyes. Duh. God and Moses once spoke face to face as friends. What do you need to really inspect each other, to mate with each other, other than a little bit of why would you and I mate? See, a thought that everyone has when they meet, you could have made with you. Why would I meet with you? Would I want to meet with you? Am I going to get something out of this interaction? Am I going to get, you know, what am I going to get out of this interaction? The pop culture, what am I going to get out of this interaction of going to church? What am I going to get out of this interaction of just sitting my ass down and handwriting my Bible? What am I going to get out of that one? You're going to figure out the handwritten analysis of the Bible, so you needed to figure out that James Ussher was invalid. Thereby, 100% of the Bible then went invalid, and it really became useless to me once I was done. So we kept the deduction. We made it through that trial, sticky air. We've recorded plenty sufficient to collapse a Bible cult over there. I've actually handwritten enough notes to say, hey, I just recorded myself taking the Bible away from a single goal. That's just step by step systematically. Dude, it's not a big speed watch they can't turn off, Wait until we finally get around to publishing. By the way, NASA, sorry, publication. The false deduction of James Ussher. Surprise, surprise. What else did we miss? Okay, everything. From 1537 forward, 1602 back. This is 1537 forward, 1602 back is a good way to crisscross that in and out. 1537 forward, we kept Monty Python, and 1602 back, we analyzed that great apes became us. Pretty impressive of what we did. With 1537 forward, we kept James Ussher to 2020. 1602 back to World Without End. We don't know when God magically poofed. Originally, we had a big bang. Here we are giggling on YouTube. That's definitely a streak in our lips. We 1537 forward to 1620. We have Monty Python. So yeah, and the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter, which is whack to listen over on YouTube. Whack on the back of our heads. It's a cute one to listen to. I really enjoyed that one. I read that one probably when I was young. Yeah, I did. 17. You could see kind of 17 before I started mating. Yeah, I was smart. 18. Had my kid when I was 19. Married at 18. Yeah, I was dumb. Had to do that. Dumb. I had to do that. That was the most lame thing to my immediacies on. I had to go get married immediately, not become what I became later. But I became what I became later. I would have done crappier in school. Honestly, if I would have not gone to school as an adult, I did a lot of mentorship. Oh, mentorship. Mommy and daddy can't mentor their own children to not be taught lessons at schools, because your mentorship programs from you have the psychological analysis. Mentorship is teaching. Mentorship is that joining together and talking. So you have all of your false. Let's Roman road a mentor, and you have a false falling mentor and mentee relationship in a pulpit performance. So the putting them up there on the stage, like passed through with the hag homosexual male lisp tendencies. It was 7-year-old child would be my guess. It's pretty pronounced on how that's how I'm using it with tall, white frivolous brain dead. Nothing up there. Honestly, nothing up there. No one's ever seen hag. No one's ever seen. It's like, dude, you've pumped out enough of your congregation. Enough of. You have never seen God, just like the Bible told you. You are that no one, dude. No one. You have had that suffer your entire life, dude. That is from 1602 forward with 1537 back. It is the opposite. That's 1537 forward to 1637 back. 1602 back. Oh, Lord. You can't remember. It's this nasty cheese grater thing through the Great Fire of London data. Oh, but it was coming out of that nasty cheese grater thing that I was able to recognize that not only am I taking this beautiful little orange should look like my 72 International Scout. I love the orange ones, by the way, and these are some of my favorites. Got oranges. These are my favorites, and so I'm going to make a very, very special orange bucket. It's probably my forever love or something in memory of my dog. Yeah, that was in the Quran. Okay, in memory of my dog was in the Quran. Was honestly in the Quran. The recognition to Maxwell Diogene. Why I would explain to you, you followed a false messiah presented to in recognition and in memory of my dog who was euthanized on 3/7/2018. This is such a sad little adventure and to memorize the whole the Wikipedia data. To be honest, is supposed to be just disappointed. The in memory of my dog presented to Grumpy Gideon. We distributed this thing. Maxwell Diogene was euthanized on 3/7/2018. He was a good little puppy, and so don't ever get one if you're smarter than I was back in the day. And so I've shown you pictures. I've shown you, I've shown you. This is what pictures and brought you into what Grandpa Seth looked like. We've made some pretty good distance over the last few days. The I don't even know what I want to do now. I honestly don't. I'm so far gone. I honestly don't care. I'm so done. A great drive over to. I don't even want to fill up my. I can make sure I have enough gas. I just don't even want to help him out. Dad, your printers, yeah. I'm telling you, Dad. So what this little literal is look at this spread out into what you could have carried in your back pocket, but it's more of a big mural thing for representation of the murals all over Toppenish, Washington, where they did where the West was not won by his where the West was won apocryphal Bible. No, Tim, that's your retirement. Where the West was taken away from you for keeping a 6,000-year earth legend. Tim, where his apocryphal New Testament, where the West was won. No, dude. Nothing was won in the West. Nothing was won in the West. But you forgot how you got over here, supposedly. From where and from how, dude? I need a little bit more data on you before I can remove you from the phone book. He's so forgotten he can't do it himself. Can't see that. He's just always never been right. Always never been right. I like the way that sounds. Always never been right. I'm going to write that once I finish this. Jesus always never been correct about him. Let's describe the authenticity of his handwritten record is something I've been working on for 13 years. So it's our little whispered in our ear secret right now. And it's what gave to me that this entire thing is apocryphal, which 13 years of data give a whole lot of apocryphal data. There we go. Always, never been right. Oh, what a part of the data. Okay. The Dead Sea Scrolls always, never been correct. Always, never been correct about the illegitimate authenticity of the illegitimate authorship of the Bible. Always, never been correct about the legitimate authorship of the Bible. Always, never been correct. Always followed the legend. Always been correct about the promissory ka-chinking of the very, very limited tip of my pencil Baptist legend. Always never been correct. Always know with the false messiah, guys. Always never, very tip of my finger to pencil Baptist. Always never been correct. Legend. Ah. That happens to also always never been correct. Go for evolution biology. So always never been correct, but always never been incorrect. Just using weird terminology that looks like the Epic of Gilgamesh. And the Mayan and Incan did the Yuval writing also there. The down there, no, they didn't. They did not. The Mayan and Incan scripting is very clear. Very clear. Boo. You figured out what it said. That was even better. Yeah, we figured out the internet legends of the Bible. Figured out I like that. That would be your Book of Mormon. Figured out would be your connectivity into the King James Version. Okay. Evolution and Validation 2020 Epic of Gilgamesh 2020 Popol Vuh. Figured out Popol Vuh. Mayan and Incan history of writing 2020 Mayan and Incan history, honest history of writing. So the honest history through the Book of Mormon relationship into the tapping of the Dome of the Rock on the when we got airplanes into our buildings here in the United States for the apocryphal 1976 version of the New American Standard version of the Bible. The honest one, buddy, is where was it? What was I forgot? So it must not have been that honest. That was Mayan history writing. So the Mayan and Incan history writing. Okay, the came over according with the plates of Nephi that came over on and landed right there on boat right in the center, so they kind of came straight over and landed on Mesoamerican land. We're right there. It described it clearly, and then they branched out, and they were transported over there. They were sent over there. The first record would have been part of. There's two parts of the Enochian records here that linked into Enoch. Okay, Enoch. The Enochian record, Enochian record. And this is more from the Bible itself. The Enochian records. God would actually kind of like me to guide you through it, kind of like me know I'm going to. The Anton LaVey, what did he provide? I won't write it down. I guess I won't. Anton LaVey. Enochian record through Enochian record through the distribution of Stonehenge, the distribution of Stonehenge, which is Grandpa Seth, by the way. Up there, he wasn't burnt, he was buried. The Enos would have been their first one that got buried in one of those. When they began to call on the name of the Lord. I guess that's when they stopped taking God out of the Bible or something. And stopped taking God out of the Bible. When they began to call upon the name of the Lord, when they began burying bodies, when they began with the memorials, and those early memorials with the Stonehenges were the early memorial. The psychic, this is a reemergence of the Red Road. It's trickling in. It's been coming up, but back in. We're under this veil. God is pulling back. It's been being pulled back since the year 2002. This sticky, nasty veil has, since the year 2002, provided us a lot of the unsticking of the 2005 and thereafter data that all unsticked up into an anthropological catch of somebody had to do it. So through the evolution of writing record of 2015, the evolution of writing in 2015, the evolution of writing into the year 2015, the evolution of writing in the year 2015. 500 years. 500 years. There's Stonehenge. Here's me explaining to you that Grandpa Seth was albino, and so was Adam and Eve, and I've described their no weight propensities when they had servants all around them before they became poofed out. And so we have this with Stonehenge over there when Enos was put over there in our stories. And we have the my goodness. No, we have a bunch of colleges to collapse. We have the Bible ministerial medieval Bible ministry in the year 2020, and that would be your teaching systems and all of that. We gotta take it out. Gotta take it away. The Bible out of you put it into Eastern presses, publications of hey, we kept James Ussher, but we didn't really understand the Bible, and take it away from England. They don't understand the Bible. You got that Pope. You have an apocryphal Bible. Take it away, take it away, take it away. So, Grandpa Seth will be happy with this. The nuclear. So that was Anton LaVey. I really enjoyed I actually, minus the psychodrama of having actually gone out and conducted a garage abortion. It's all about the psychodrama of what you're doing inside of your brains from the hermetically sealed standpoint of listening and visualizing the Jesus walked on water, so you should feel good about him, transporting the Dead Sea Scrolls out of the temple, and your puppet should feel good about it. It lied to you, your puppet liar. So you have a medieval legend of a medieval Messiah, medieval legend, medieval legend of medieval Messiah. So Jesus, we need to recount his individual words a whole lot better. And that's what he told us in his individual words. And I forget. He told us. Well, I've seen it. He said, "My words, whoever takes them out." And he actually said specific his words. So we'll have those in between here, underlined in between, pulling out. He told us. So Jesus said unto them, "See not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down," which would be all of the numerical coding. So stone. Fuck. I'm sorry. Okay. Verily, I love verily, verily, I say unto you. Verily, verily. Whom ye slew, whom ye slew, whom ye slew, whom ye slew. It's poetry. This is all the whom ye slew at the temple. Future retention. What I found is we smoothed this story out so poorly that it just became nothing. And we turned this story into nothing. Jesus said unto them, "See not these things?" Jesus said unto them. Jesus said, "See ye not all these things?" Jesus said, Yeshua said, "There shall not be left here one stone. There shall not be left here one stone. Left here one stone," which is all, everything. Bible, stone, Bible, buddy. The rock, the beard. All in legend, guys, all in legend. Jesus said unto them, "See, I do not all these things, all in legend. There shall not be left here one stone. There shall not be. There shall not be. There shall not." Legend of authorship and legend of pulpit teaching. So he has to, pastor. No, we're studying the Bible, not what you thought it said. This is entirely something entirely different. Entirely different. You should have said. And then he left, but they put they Here's a subtraction to the story. They added something right here. The disciples, two questions. When and what? The two disciples to when and what? So what are we looking for? And the disciples came into him privately. The disciples came into him privately, so that's not magic moving inspiration. Lost ancestral worship. It's 6,000 year Earth legend. Right here. What should be the sign that we need to open this book out of your hands? Where did that book out of the bastard's hand? Yeah, God magically proofed this book. Yep. Yeah, inspired you to have no brain. 6,000 year Earth legend, inspired to have no brain. 2020. 1610. Data. $16.11 scholarship. Oh yeah. Well, how this book? Oh my goodness! You take it apart at 1610. Someone reaches 1611 from. Oh, who? How does that the line get written down? The answers. Oh, and Jesus 1610, 1611. When earth shall, where are we today? Answering is and take heed that no man deceive you. So we 6,000 legend. 6,000 year Earth legend. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and deceive many. Hear that many Christian teachers shall come in the name of Jesus, saying Jesus is the Christ, and shall deceive many. False Messiah. False Messiah. Right there. Twisted in, how do you use that in your sermon? Many will say, come and deceive many. Many shall come in my name and deceive many. How do you, that's not a sermonic. John 3:16, God fucking hates you if you use that one. Took God out of this book. Many will come in my name, in the name of Jesus, and deceive many with their Jesus cults. Right there. And Jesus, and so take heed that no man deceive you. Saul did it too when he called you stupid. No. You had opportunity for many shall come in my name, saying that I'm Christ, and shall deceive many. False Messiah. Right there. False 6,000 year legend. false, true, Messiah, false, true Messiah, because he's a real true person. He was legitimately alive, and this is his legitimate account, not magically inspired later, that written right there by, in this particular case, most likely Matthew. And so it was his words that he was a false Messiah, not one you pray to. True man, false Messiah. True man, false Messiah. Same. True man, false Messiah. And false Messiah. Eat. Catch on, catch on, catch on. We're following a false Messiah. Catch on. Baptist, false Messiah. False Messiah. False Baptists have a false Messiah, guys. And you're so brilliant on your occult stuff, you know, and not the, I happen to be pretty more adept. And the whole lot more. Yeah, you pray to a false Messiah. The Baal Shem right here. The Baal, that will later we'll figure out more about him. He's good. Actually, the Baal. And just I'm gonna put a bunch of names here. What do you mean? What do you mean? David, he's senile over. My father is a senile over, and they crucified him. Parted his garments. My father is a senile 73-year old. I'm gonna take this out. Wait for him. My 73-year David is senile, so I don't feel too bad. I'm doing this for you. Parted his gardens. Parted his garments. That would be your parted garments. The garments and discovered the Apocrypha of King equal King James Apocrypha. King James Apocrypha. This is really a Mormon missionaries. Pardon my garments. Mormon missionaries. Book of Mormon. Mormon King James. King James. Cast lots would be open canon. Open canon of Mormons. And sitting down, they were watching them. There would be disharmonic union of their theology, theophany. They have all your stupid name words. You know, it's kind of like you have this false earth history on both sides of evolution and into your theological philosophical the philosophical discussions, I'm a walrus, philosophical, you have into all of these words, theogony, then ontological argument, they all sound the same. Ontogeny was once a brief and rapid recapitulation of phylogeny. Well, they don't look at the big. How'd they figure out? Whoa, being by this really, really quick thing in your uterus is how great apes started mating and decided to start writing shit down. Your great apes. That's pretty fucking creative. And you went fucking. You're gonna hear me whining most of the time. When we get to Where's the unicorn whining? Then said Pilate unto him, Hearest thou not how many things the witnessed against thee? They kept one legend that took them out of the Bible. They have nothing in there. They can love one legend that they understood this book, and there's nothing on that. There's any consciousness that they're correct with their legend. That they just morsel got magically pooped out. And God was masturbating. Still, and there's still some. That cult website is Eve's bloody tampon is a good way to describe this. Not having Torah in the Old Testament is Eve's bloody tampon. He's just really nasty, and it's really nasty. And after God was done masturbating on the ground and nobody cleaned it up, it soiled. I think that caused the Cambrian explosion. No, I'm joking. One of the times in the Big Bang, the Cambrian explosion. NASA scientists finding on that somehow that water at 140 trillion tons. It's not in this book. Yeah, that's not Genesis 1:9. That's not. We can't use satellite imagery properly, can we? And that's just like they find 100. It's in there. But it's not right here. So this is 75 books of really weird apocrypha without God in it. And then John 1:18. The John 1:18 apocrypha removal, reunification of the Bible, take it away from you. A 500-year legend, define most history. We've been good that one. Yeah. So the New American Standard Apocryphal 1977 is the absolute most critical one of my apocryphal collections. For me to say that the apocryphal Saul, I love the way that sounds. The apocryphal Saul, the apocryphon of Saul of 1977. The apocryphon of Saul, the apocryphon of Saul, the apocryphon of Saul. Saul is a good guy. He's a good author. And but I did not see any other of the apostles, the library here, except James. Now in what I am writing to you, I assure you before God that I'm not lying. It's a bracket. In what I'm writing to you, I assure you I'm not lying. I'm just calling you foolish, you foolish. Then I went to the regionals. Then I went. So yeah, he probably did, but he totally. I just didn't go to the Jerusalem like I said I would. I did in the Book of Acts, and it's written down. He counteracts his. I went to Jerusalem right there in the Book of Acts. Yeah, I didn't read that too well. Oops. And yeah, I know you didn't, pastors. What were you using it for? He told so right here pastors where he's calling you fools and stupid, and we've shown to you where Saul changed his name to Paul by fucking you with all of these really brain dead, brainless, brain dead apocryphal unions that Saul brought you into, and I'm not. But only they kept hearing me, who were persecuted is now preaching the faith which I once tried to destroy. And you kept with it. And they were glorifying God because of me. So you kept with this book. I came in and I was going to harm you. No, I'm a good guy now. That sounds like God. That sounds like the formation of the church. Hey guys, we're $22 trillion in debt. Let's rethink Saul. That's all fact over the Apocrypha and Paul the Apostle, the Apocryphal 1976 letter of Paul to the Church of Galatians we've been going through. And the Lord Jesus Christ is why we have to do that. And the Bible in the New Testament 2020 Apocrypha, not human. 2020. When did man and been writing that? Yeah, that would have proved that disappointment. 1976 New American Standard. 1977 Apocryphal New Testament. That's 2020. The book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ. However, the 2020 evolution of writing provided us brilliant brain-dead morons 3200 BC, which 2020 magic poofy, that's 800 years. Hey, there's your COVID-19. There's your COVID-19. The son of David, the son of Hope. I'll do. Hey, there's your magic poof in COVID-19. Brain dead fucking morons. Right the fuck here. Gotta do that in pencil. I'll keep it in pencil, not pen. So we're right here in COVID-19 at the son of David, the son of Abraham with 800 years. And we haven't gotten down and into the microbial pattern into getting that the movies weld a couple things over here. We'll see. The son of David. So that was Daoud, a UID in 1537. So the son of David, the son of 1537, Geneva Bible, 1602, Matthew's Bible, 1611, King James Bible, 75 bars, 75 books with Apocrypha. Come on, guys. In the Bible. Apocrypha. Duh, come on, does it belong in the Bible or is it in the Catholic Bible with priests raping boys? It's in the Catholic Bible with priests raping boys. Take it from them. 1611 King James Bible, 75 books with the Apocrypha. That would be, it's 1666. 1666 King James Bible, 66 book, apocryphal joining, apocryphal book, collection. Yeah, it's really just an apocryphal book collection. The Mormons got it too. So in 2020, we have the Mormons got it too with the evolution of writing. That's taken us back over into the invalid 6,000-year Gospels, apocryphal Gospels. 6,000-year legends, so we're friends now. We're working together just as we're gonna figure out how to take over the world because the internet's broken. Thanks for hanging out. 6,000-year invalid. 2020 invalid coronavirus series. That's why we're here. This coronavirus is the inclusion of the Quran in the year 2000. God wants it in your schools. 6,000 year British So Islamic countries and Rectora, Islamic countries and right Torah 5 to 12 years of age. And then what God will want after that for the Christian countries. At the same time, we're doing this for the hijab Christian countries. In response to having kept the Bible sealed, that the Christian country would shame on years from Christian advocate and the Quran and right Quran 5 to 12 years of age. Now 5 to 12 years of age. So this is a very looking at each other where are we from getting to know each other simply. The United States will not let me why you shall, except this is a jihad. Set your asses down in a newspaper article because over there we have worse barbary, and they're waiting for me. Actually, the choppy guy. He's more the I'm going to come and take this book away from you on YouTube, and he's kind of a cool legend. He's more kind of a Tyrannosaurus Rex legend thing, and Haji, Tamaji, which is Jesus said you're all Antichrist, which is anyone that is not the albino Christ. So I'm not the albino Christ, so I'm an Antichrist. So this shows you Trump. We all are. It's kind of swell. We're not Adam and Eve. The second Adam, we only have two to choose from. You and I only two to choose from. Get on the hell with me. Ignorant is. We only have two to choose from. How did I come up with that? It took 13 years and really just to getting every line and everything out of the false authorship of the Bible. 2020 false authorship of the Bible. 2020 false authorship of Bible. And of course, there's the false authorship of the legend of the story inside of the Bible. The Roman road, that's a false story. Any of your current 2020 doctrines we made out of we felt good about our prior use of that. That's all you fabricated it all, pastors. You fabricate it, you feel good about it for try again. We have an invalid science because of your churches. Our 2020 science is completely invalid because of the magic proofing. So, 1996, we did have that invalid science arriving out to 1999. Invalid. So, the invalid cult history right here. Of the Christian church. We're actually at the invalid cult history of the James Ussher chronology deduction. Where how long do we keep it and why? Why? How hard was it to think our way out of it? We've known it was in the deduction our entire life. All we ever had to do was just agree with science. All we ever had to do was agree with science. What was the value in the Bible if you could not agree with science? You know, all you ever had to do was with the James's chronology was to agree to, did gravity still work? And no, Jesus walked on the water. Gravity didn't work. Jesus walked on water. Gravity didn't work. Jesus walked on water. Gravity didn't work. Jesus walked on water. Gravity didn't work. Believe any fucking thing. The best sermon that Jesus never spoke. Got questions that cool. The best sermon that Jesus. What is the sermon on love? The only sermon that Jesus never spoke. In all of earth history, when I saw the multitudes, I went up on a mount, and my disciples came to me. It is not the multitude of people flocking around Jesus and listening to him sing, talking about squirrels. It is when I saw the multitudes, I looked out at the front door, I saw multitudes. Closed the door. I went out the back door. My disciples said, "Where am I?" And they followed me out the back door. That is what happened. And, and they went and were scouting out the Dead Sea Scroll. When we had the best sermon that you have never preached. That's an adornment of gotta castrate Ken Han for something so stupid as that one. You guys have this entire cult relationship of puppet performances of Nowhereville. Pathetically shameful Christian. So 16:10. My pipe has a whistle. Can't find my good pipe. Lost it by using pins. It's when I set something down. Kind of like a Bible verse. So God and Moses spoke face to face. He answered, the one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. Moses wrote down, the field is the world, and the good seed is the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and Joshua witnessed, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are angels. Ussher. Moses wrote down. Joshua wrote down. Meeting data, sacred data. Handwritten there, witnessing God saying, "Don't fuck with my name." And he did, called you Jeshurun. Called Israel Jeshurun. Kind of like the unicorn. Which one? the one of my favorites. So I still love dolphins. Dolphins is a favorite. Let's go look. I want to go read some poetry from God. All right. For wisdom is better than rubies. Can't say that one. And all of the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Job, 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 Job. Job is a beautiful Kabbalistic parable of passing over and missing. Let's go read it. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, "Pass through the host," and they command the people, saying, "Prepare your victuals. For within 3 days you shall pass over the Jordan to go to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you to possess it." Way back when. Short went to happen that the Reubenites exposed, and the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you Christians, saying, "Don't fuck with my Torah." You got rest, but yeah, they got land. Your Christian wives are bleeding, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side of the Jordan. But you shall pass over, your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them until the Lord. So mighty men of valor, that's all the Apocrypha. Mighty men of valor. That is your Apocrypha. That's your book of Jasher. And yet again, So you didn't read the book of Joshua that well. It doesn't belong in the Bible. It's all throughout the Bible. Oh, according to the hearken unto Moses speaking face to face, so we shall hearken unto Ben David, and then God will be with us. And he was with Moses. So I like Moses. He's my favorite partner. Let's put Saul right here. Book of Galatians, reminder. Joshua, that scribal relationship with the book of Galatians. You know, when over there in Torah where it says he used to salute God and Moses, they salute him like that. Just the Heil reunion Heil Ben David. And Joshua rose early to Heil Ben David in the morning, and they removed and there's the word removed. Children of Israel lodged there before they passed on. So 3500 BC, you passed out. It came to pass after 3 days. You figured out that ancestral origin writing for 4000 BC was incorrect. A 500-year legend that went through the host time. 500-year legend. They commanded the people, saying, when you see the ark of, that's don't take God out of the story. When you see, don't take God. When you see, don't take God out of the story. That's a little magic walkie-talkie box thing in the story. The priests and Levites apparently forgot about it. Remove your place and go after the little magic walkie-talkie box thing. We want that. We want the magic walkie-talkie. I want the unicorn. Go after the unicorn right here. And just space between you and it. The unicorn gets the magic walkie-talkie box. Leviticus 12. Leviticus 15. Space. Don't forget Leviticus 12. Leviticus 12. That was a pretty important one. So I said, don't write anything, don't tell anyone, but we will do wonders among you. And I'll let you know you magically proved a few years before. 6, 7, 4,000, 2,000 years before magically poofing a legend into what they were walking around to magically proof the story, uniformly magic proof relationships, magic. Everything in the Bible is a fictional legend of it didn't happen. And there's nothing that happened. Everything in the Bible is a fictional legend that didn't happen. That totally did happen, by the way. It was at that moment in time as they heard the bear ark were coming to the Jordan, and the feet of the priests bear the ark were dipped into the brimming water, for the Jordan overflowed all the banks. That's what the word of God overflow. What we understood. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and half on the other side of the Jordan. So it left in pieces, put into the Levites. He gave none, and we got fucked out. Right here. I like to write got fucked out. So great fire at London, we got fucked out. Good parable legends of repentance. Oh my god, he made it a deduction, but the story did not make sense with the deduction. It just did not make sense with the deduction. It just not. So the children of Israel, it did not make sense 6,000 years ago. Someone made a hopeful poopy. God magically poofed when? The Israel God magically poofed. And he turned under, by the way, and said, go to, I pray thee, let ye come unto thee, for he knew not that she was the daughter-in-law And she said, "What wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me a daughter-in-law?" Homosexual great apes. We got a lot of daughters to take care of. She conceived and bare a son, and she called him Er. Er. Take off that. I love the naming conventions. And Judah took wife for his firstborn, and whose name was Tamar. And so we get Joseph and Tamar later. And Judas, that loved Judah, that's named not mess with, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah, and the Lord slew him. I'm wicked. Yeah, he wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. That's a pretty important legend to not take out of the Bible. The end of so why would he was wicked in the sight of was Judas firstborn Judah. So it was. So we got another unicorn. Judas firstborn. It's like a unicorn. Wicked. The Lord slew him. That would be your 6,000-year hope. The Lord slew him. Smarter than the pastor. Fuck. Senile elder. Fuck. Senile retard. And Pharaoh said, Father, according as you made me swear, you'll never preach this fucking thing again. You don't know this book. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up and harnessed out of the land of Egypt. You don't need this book anymore. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be appointed therein, to be consecrated in them. So take the book of that's the Book of Mormon. Take that the Bible from the Mormon Church, because that they have the Aaronic covenant and clubs in there. That's wrong, and they do it wrong. And that son, the priest, they have that false prophet. It's just wrong. That particular ritual needs to just gotta go away. That one needs to go away. They've had that false priesthood for too long. The Aaronic priesthood has just been there too long. It's part of the Puritan bullshit movement to keep doing the same thing without ever going back behind to see what's wrong. And Aaron and his son shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Kiss. It's 500 years old. I got to tell you, every false ritual everywhere. The Aaronic priesthood is all just stop following a prophet. He's got you bad. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Lord. It is most holy. So the Mormon Church opened up their canon. It's an open canon. Yeah. They opened it up. Let's see what it said, and put all of the just Smithy and nothing's around it. It's an interesting thought. Misogyny, it's a Hasidic. Wow, my fucking goodness. Joseph Smith and Jimmy Swagger later fucked with it. He took at that time the hand of the two kings of the Amorites, which the Hittites have plenty over there. And Gilead abode beyond Jordan, so you're left in hell not even thinking about the Hittites and the Ammonites who are in here. Remain in ships. Ussher continued in the seashore and abode in his breeches. This is poetry were taken out of the apocryphal unionization. Welcome to the OTO. We need some marker kept for our scripture. It was empty. And so originally the kings fought, but we looked at this real closer and we agreed on it. The trees would. I won some magic movie. I've been working on that one for a couple months. The trees went forth on a time. Finally got around to handwriting the rest of the Bible for the first time. The Lord said, "It's a bad joke that I did this. Just watch me handwrite the Bible for you." Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow after he was shaven. So so Judges 16, are you sure that the earth is 6,000 years of age? On page 301 of the Holy Fuck Us, placed by Grandpa Gideon, apocryphal unionization to YouTube. to remind us that the earth is no longer 6,000 years of age. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even. Oh, that sounds such beautiful world poetry, old man, my old friend, at even, which was also Mount Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah. We miss so much beauty. I'm not missing it. Just get this into your skulls and start writing. The all you kids over will collapse the United States Christian churches and make our kids start handwriting the Quran, and that'll just then we'll say we're doing this for all of them over there to start handwriting Torah, and then went from 15 to 18, everyone will be studying the four gospels the way I've outlined them to you, because it's just a little color along picture book. God left you know. And when you looked it up, it's honestly just a little color along picture book. There's so much information. It's a 200,000 page thing. And when came the woman and the dawning of the day fell down at the door of the man's house where the Lord was till was light. So this is a Shekinah, Kishana, where there was light in the authorship. And who wrote this next line? In the book of Ruth, and Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, so those are pretty things specific. Who said what? And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle for whatever good reason. Whatever. And the king said unto Bezalel, we have some Z's. We have some Z's. I'm looking for the unicorn. And for the house is made. For the house he made windows of narrow lights. That's beauty. And against the wall of the house he built chambers round against the walls of the house, round about both of the temple of the oracle, and he made the chambers round about. I'm going to do that. I want to just do that in my front room. I'm going to grow marijuana. I'll see that. I'll watch me grow with my tobacco against the wall of the house. We built chambers, and against the wall of the house we built chambers. And I'm going to take this from my front room. I'll spray paint this on my walls or in my basement or something. I thought about it as handwriting the whole Bible on the walls, but that would be a lot of work. It'll take too long. So I'll just narrate it back to you. So you say the is not 6,000 years of age. Both of the temple and of the oracle. So of the temple and the oracle, it would be my basement. Both of the taking your Bible. Me broadcasting myself out of the basement sufficient. The othermost chamber, that'll work, was 5 cubits, but we'll work on the sizing down there. and went out on the wall and made some narrowed restaurant about. That would be where when you give me my concubine, that the beam should not be fastened for me to tie her up on the walls of the house, and the house when it was in the building was built of stone. So stonework downstairs is cinder block. So it was built of stone, cinder block. Before it was brought hither, was brought thither. I love this. There was neither hammer nor a pencil apparently. It's because you lost your ancestral origin writing 3500 BC. Iron heard lost your ancestral while it was in the building that he came into the cult. The door in the middle chamber, the cult was on the right side of the house. That's okay. They went up winding chairs into the middle chamber. This is poetry, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And out of the middle into the third. There's so much data in there, but it's all useless. And built the house and finished and covered the house with the beams and the boards of cedar. There's just so much data here. It's just all worthless. You have to memorize the whole Bible to know how worthless the whole fucking thing is. And King Solomon. So you memorized the legend, King Solomon. You memorized the legend. The names. Yeah, Solomon and David are about Jesus. Stay away from him. The door of the middle chamber. Jesus, stay away from him. Zephaniah told you, why'd you leave this out of your brains? Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast. The nation of the word of the Lord is against you. The word of the Lord is the word of the Lord is against you. Guys. I know you thought 6,000 years was enough. That's every other that's already against you. So you had it wrong. This is a print. I will even destroy thee. And there shall be no inhabitants. 6,000 year legend. No inhabitants because the 6,000 year causative relationship. Captivity. 6,000 year earth. Causative relationship. We're explaining the Bible. I heard the reproach no love. Against their border would be Rabbi Shimon told us to build a hedge around Torah. I think Israel would have done that rather than putting creatives in their pockets. Their common ancestral origin will keep a legend also. Right there was 6,000 year legend. And then say, yeah, we evolved from the. No, what you didn't do is look at your fossil remains at all, correct, kids? You did not look at your fossil remains at all, correct, kids? Kids did not look at your fossil remains, correct? You looked at a legend growing up as great apes, and I can see the time distance, but you're too far away to calculate it properly. And the modern scientists with computers, unless you live out there and you live out there, you can't figure out what they were doing. How did they eat grass and just do nothing? It's really what they're looking for. They just sat there eating bugs and grass and did nothing else. It's totally different. And they did it well. Yeah, the proportion to having children as uh, economic man 9,200 year old philosopher man would have received a wife after making a journey. He done it more than once, either all the way up the Columbia River, but all up into Idaho, and I think it was Idaho. He would all the way. It's likely it went all the way up to the Aleutian Islands, and they all went on a sunburn. Just do it. It's like we're gonna do it, and he'd be trending all the way along. He's catching, eating well, he's done. He's a survivor. Yeah, a lot better than your modern uh, Boy Scouts. Your modern Boy Scouts, pretty pathetic for survivalists. If you got kids that got caught in a winter storm, you'd probably all freeze. Your kids are you're all frozen. Yeah, eating each other would be a last resort, and I think you'd probably be missing your Wheaties too quickly to be done that, and ingenious enough to live in the World War II. That was a totally different life, kids. Totally different life. Just put yourself in the World War II combat place. Why you think about taking God out of the Bible ever again? That's what they were thinking about. Every little being that should be heard, as was written that word about that one. And yeah, it's kids. You missed world history in your really cute other books. Having taken God out of your Bible with the 6,000-year legend, everything went. Oh my goodness. It was so pathetically bad. Fine. When I finally figured this one out. Really, really, really pathetically bad. Fine. I didn't mean to either. It did all happen to be inseparably related in the end, but I knew that since 2017, when in 2014 I had already been working with the distance and time on the writing I've been working on since 2007. Yeah, and then when I actually got finally fired, I'm working on this first of all, Illinois, and I finally, 2007 is when it really began. In 96, I had Dead Sea Scrolls Deception. I was working on Dead Sea Scrolls a long time ago. And I was actually even working on the Dead Sea Scrolls in high school. And then not much to use with them. And everything I have now is we don't know anything about them. Here's how that one worked. The Dead Sea Scrolls were subtracted. The Dead Sea Scrolls were the original temple scripture library. Excuse me. The Dead Sea Scrolls were the original temple library. It was subtracted from. The Bible told you how that happened. In a puzzle, a big masterful puzzle, took me 13 years to deduce out of. It's this big masterful puzzle of where do you now repair that for having been taught wrong. which is every verse and every line. Okay. So the King James Version of I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored. It's turned out a lot different than I expected. I actually expected something entirely different than what I found. DIY actually, when I began in 2007, I didn't know. By 2012, I couldn't stop. It's found how to put God back into the Torah when 2012 and 2015. Found out how researched all Apocrypha, read it all. And what I actually found is God is not in the New Testament on purpose. And from that test point, nothing, if it wasn't deduced properly on how to use that verse, we lost. And so we lost, we literally lost it. John 1:18, the word became flesh. We got really fucked. Bad enough that we took God out of the Bible. In a false deduction, and no one decided to sniff out a little bit better. And then repeated itself with the 6,000-year detective legend that Jimmy Swagger participated in. Bonehead Tim, he's all like, I want to write a book too someday. And look at smoking it. It's like, dude, you're old, fucking senile. Try. I offered you more than you ever even thought to read. Lock down 600 and plus thousand, they can't turn off fire. But thank you. Yeah. I'm annoyed. Almost done with the big black book. The big black book of 1610 I like that. The big black book of 1610 data in comparison with the little teeny tiny 1610. But 1610 apocryphal unionized by Gideon. Yeah. That's going to be a really good. I like that. That's going to be a neat little display. Gideon Bible, put it in your back pocket to close your coat. With the year 1666 dated by each one will surprise people. Set it aside, though it's just sacred data, please. Thank you. But of this day that no man shall. Then make him read that. No one shall know. Yeah, so what's his legend? He doesn't know it. And then after the Lord had spoken unto them, he received up into heaven and said on the right hand of God. Love you, Saul. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right, and this thou shalt live. We just grabbed a good one there. which now of these three thinkest. Why are we not having enough? We need more of these guys to hang out with this column over. It was neighbor unto them. That I know I'm teaching them that the earth is older than 6,000 years of age. It's okay. Among these, and he said, he that shewed mercy, shoot. This is poetry, kids. King James Bible Apocryphal poetry lessons for your children. That the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation. Kids, this is apocryphal. Memorized Torah by handwriting. Yeah, then the United States collapsed, and you guys handwrite the Quran. Girls, all of them collapsed into handwriting Torah between ages 5 and 12, and switch that to American, then begin Torah at 12 to 18, and they switch, and take that time to go through it. Don't fuck with that New Testament portion that much. Just kind of get to know it a lot better. Just get to know it. Because the history, the false history of the origination of the church is buried here and here. Such as when Saul messed us up here. Who at the sundry time and in the diverse manners spake in the time past unto the fathers by the prophets. So Saul, and the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted his head unto heaven. In Revelation 10, that happened to be the angel Moroni, but the Mormon guy doesn't even know that was an angel Moroni. False prophet over there doesn't know his own book, that the angel Moroni was present in Revelation chapter 10. Right there, and you got a 6,000 year cult over there. Pop on the boat, magic pop puffers. Okay. All right, I'm going to go brush my teeth and lay down. Thanks. We are about there. Getting bubble. It came as a surprise, the distance in your eyes. I thought you died a long time ago. Who knew? 1610 inertial data wouldn't work if we could ever find it and secure it. Just record 16.6 years of age and roll it up to 17 so you get 24, and the peasant girls out there and what they ate better. There was no, that was just school. That was what they were eating, just the simplicity of that era. The peasant children were eating a lot differently. quite a lot more nutritiously than city girls because they lived with the animals and they didn't mind sleeping with the animals. Yeah, yeah. Some of the one of my favorites from YouTube. Leave them alone. You don't need to go over there. I had 8 wives and a few kids. They all slept on different cots with in the round structure, and he was the chief. He was the chief. Not everyone got that, and it wasn't. They had the wife that slept with him and the other 7 slept on their own cots, and it was the wife that brought him the best dinner that she made, and all of the wives ate separately. So it's not like they were having these weird little orgies and things like that. He was chief, and really just which one was going to keep him warm out there in that chief. And he's got some weight on him, looks pretty good for a chief. The wife that brings the best dinner to him gets to sleep with him. Kids have to sleep with their mother on their own cots. And that kid's living there, right there with the ghost on the other side of the thing on the other half of it. So right there with them, and you have this entire false idea of what the Mary and Joseph where they slept. Yeah, they slept underneath a roof. Well, there were some animals there when they were happy because there wasn't no room because it was whenever that story happened was a long time ago, and that's how they would have. There wouldn't have been a lot of inns and stuff. There were people taking on people like they did in the Philippines and stuff. Philippines are about to go up, kids, and. And Philippines represented you have Neolithic over there, clear Neolithic. That's each of those islands, they're different. They're different, not me's. And Mongolian Persian kittens, they're different, not me. Come on, Mongolia. You've been there longer than 65,000 years, we know. And so stand up from Australia. Come on, kids. We're not willing to accept that the earth is that America's full of cults. America's full of cults. Really? Really? No one's ever thought to check. America's just full of all cults because they have the King James Version of the Bible on print. Really, nobody's there to check. Nobody's thought to check. Nobody said we've all known it, but that we've just never thought to check the source origin of the writing. The checking of the source origin of the King James Bible was worthwhile 13-year expenditure. And a lot of money, a lot of time. That's his role. Commitment for 13 years. Had to do it because I distributed the Bible in the former USSR, and I have pictures just to put behind me to show you. Yeah, it's when I explained that Jesus was the false Messiah, and so am I. Look at me, I'm 6,000 years away from that. Opening up the doors to, hey, OTO members, do a little bit better over in our job as we're going to be a better than you cult was to not let them teach that book, kids. Not let them teach that book. Yeah, because we understood it was a legend and we kept it at that. And we didn't make a big deal about it, so we obviously forgot it because we all turned into little weird atheists. there, where they even forgot that they came from Adam and Eve. Yo, they forgot they came from Adam and Eve. When God said, "Fuck you," the welcome to the OTO. Adam and Eve forgot that didn't tell their kids or something what they look like. Took a lot of investigation, a lot of inspirational. Woohoo. Repental for the distribution, repental for the deduction. And repenting for the deduction was I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and it finally came back that it was made. And it was just false, So if I would have just started right there, it would have worked would have been a lot quicker. But rather, it was kind of take the longest round the fucking thing, and it turned out 5 million pages later. Oh God, every page of 5 million pages later. God and Moses, that was pretty fucking important. So next time, now we no longer get to use the Bible, and no longer get to use the Bible, no longer get to interpret the Bible. That's just puff on the Pope questions. So thanks, and ask them tomorrow. No. They'll never respond. They already told you they don't know anything. Yeah, so if we get turned off because we can't see God and give a shit. They get turned off because they don't know God. Holy fuck. In the year 2020, what the most immature fucking cult to pick out on. But I need to for home. David's church. How far are we going to take this thing? We're not going to let it go any further than tomorrow. And I'm about this being apocryphal. Game changer. This is a put it in your pocket and go show up. No. Don't teach. Give me your version. Let me show you how to read it. Boom. Stop teaching this. This is how you don't read. Nope. You don't teach this like that. Nope. You don't teach this like that. Nope. You got a broken school over there and you're magic stupid. Poof. You don't teach it that way. That's how we use it. I like that new piece of apocryphal wisdom. Just found it. Thanks.